The tale opens beside a calm lake, where a young boy named Alex relaxes with his fishing rod. A mysterious sorcerer called Elders approaches him and offers to teach him magic. Curious Alex agrees, and their training begins. To start, Elders sets up a target and instructs Alex to focus. He weaves a vivid scenario, making Alex imagine a dire situation where he must use magic to protect his friends. Driven by determination, Alex conjures a ring of fire. With Elders guiding him to stay composed, he releases the fireball, striking the target successfully. Proud of his accomplishment, Alex admits the spell was challenging, but Elders reminds him that most people need a month to learn what Alex managed in a single day. Excited, Alex wants to continue, but his mentor insists he rest and return to fishing. Though Alex feels dissatisfied, Elders reassures him that his talent will naturally make him a great magician. Alex wonders aloud if he even needs a teacher, but Elders avoids the question. Their quiet moment is broken when Elders struggles with the fish on his line. Laughing at his mentor's lack of skill, Alex helps him reel it in. Together they collapse from the effort, then share a joyful laugh as the fish flops beside them. The following day, Elders gives Alex a book filled with magical formulas, but the boy struggles to grasp it. Patiently, Elders begins explaining the patterns and symbols. Day after day, they study together, until one winter afternoon when snow begins to fall. Alex playfully tosses a snowflake at Elders, sparking a lighthearted snowball fight. Their happiness doesn't last long, however. Elders eventually announces that he will be leaving for the capital in the summer. Saddened, Alex asks why he won't stay. Elders warns him never to become a court magician, but when Alex presses for answers, Elders reveals that he only trained him as a way to honor the kindness shown by Alex's late mother. With those words, he leaves Alex behind. Years later, Alex enrolls at the Royal Magic Academy. While reviewing old records, he discovers that Elders once graduated as the Academy's top student and went on to serve as a court magician, only to be later exiled. Outraged by the injustice, Alex vows to enter the court himself and reform it in Elders' honor. In time, he achieves his goal and becomes a court magician under Crown Prince Regulus's party. However, after a grueling battle, the prince dismisses him. Shocked, Alex demands to know why. Regulus challenges him to explain his role in the party. Alex insists his duty is to support the prince with magic, but Regulus rebukes him, pointing out that he failed to fulfill that role in their recent fight. The prince explains that he leads from the front as a swordsman. Their mage Lenny unleashes devastating spells, and Ix shields them from harm. But Alex's support magic contributes nothing meaningful. When Alex tries to defend his approach, Regulus cuts him off, accusing him of weakness. Lenny joins in, mocking Alex for his cautious nature and confessing she only tolerated him because Regulus allowed it. With both Lenny and Ix siding against him, Regulus declares that he once believed Alex's reputation as a top graduate, but now suspects he only bribed his way into success. Once again, Alec tries to defend himself, but Regulus notices a dagger on his belt and seizes it. The prince scolds him, declaring that commoners have no right to carry weapons. Alec explains that he only kept it for self-defense, but Regulus furiously grabs his collar, calling commoners foolish for never following orders. Stripped of confidence, Alec stays silent as Regulus tears the robe from his shoulders, saying he is unworthy of the court magician's title. Humiliated and shaken, Alec watches as the party heads into the dungeon without him. Determined to protect the prince despite his dismissal, Alec studies the dungeon on his own. Knowing that Regulus lacks the magical power to survive the threats beyond level 30, Alec rushes to the capital and begs the royal guards to let him in. They deny him entry, reminding him that he lost his position and that commoners are forbidden inside. As they argue, Lenny emerges, ridiculing Alec once more. She mocks the rumors about him reaching level 67, accusing him of fabricating stories to make himself look strong. When Alec pleads with her to deliver a scroll to Regulus, she smirks, tears it apart in front of him, and coldly orders the guards to remove him. Heartbroken, Alec wanders back to town, weighed down by the thought that 4 years of sacrifice had changed nothing. While lost in despair, Alec unexpectedly encounters Yora, his former party leader. Overcome with emotion, she embraces him, and they sit together as Alec recounts his struggles. Outraged at the unfairness of the Galana kingdom's court, Yora vents about their obsession with keeping nobles and commoners apart. Though Alec worries someone might overhear, Yora reassures him they are alone and reminds him of her promise to one day bring him back to her team. She smiles and invites him to rejoin her party, insisting that she and her comrades have been waiting for his return. Alec, overwhelmed with tears, protests that the court declared him useless. Yora laughs it off, telling him his worth has never depended on the court's judgment. Holding his hands, she welcomes him back to her high-ranked adventurer group, Lasting Period. Alec feels joy and relief at being reunited with his old companions. Later, as they travel home, Alec drifts asleep in the carriage and dreams of Elder's warning never to join the royal court. Awakened, he reflects somberly that Elder's words had come true. Yora notices his unease, but Alec keeps his thoughts to himself. Meanwhile, in the royal capital, Prince Regulus hears from Lenny that Alec has left the kingdom to become an adventurer. Instead of regret, Regulus sneers, mocking Alec as a coward who once claimed to be the greatest genius of the Magic Academy. Meanwhile, Lenny proposes a toast to celebrate the arrival of their newest member, a gifted magician from the prestigious Duke Fornius family. Regulus accepts the drink, sipping proudly as Lenny flatters him, imagining that together they'll dominate the dungeon. The prince, tipsy and arrogant, laughs loudly at the thought of their inevitable glory. Far away, Alec and Yora finally return to their hometown of Fizzle. Surrounded by adventurers, Alec feels comforted by the bustling energy, while Yora excitedly tells him about their next plan, to challenge a dungeon west of the city. Before they can set out, she insists on registering Alec at the Adventurers Guild. At the guild, however, the receptionist informs them that only those registered for 2 years can obtain the license needed to explore beyond level 30. Yora is frustrated, especially when she learns their comrade Kra previously tried to bully the guild into handing out a license, leaving her embarrassed. Later, over a simple meal, Yora vents about the setback. They can't afford to wait years before reaching the 52nd floor, but after finishing her sandwich, she regains her optimism. For now, she suggests they tackle smaller dungeons as a warm-up. Cheered by her determination, Alec agrees. Soon after, they step into a dungeon swarming with monstrous insects. Yora casts protective magic on Alec, who charges forward and slashes through the creatures. Though pleased with their teamwork, Yora notes that the dungeon seems unusually difficult. As more bugs swarm in, Alec realizes that something deeper inside must have disturbed them. Confident, Yora continues forward, but Alec warns her it's too dangerous. She laughs, reminding him that he was never the type to retreat from monsters, and urges him to trust her judgment. Torn between fear and loyalty, Alec recalls that he is no longer bound by the restrictions of the royal court. Drawing on his strength, he channels his magic, and Yora watches as he unleashes a roaring fire spell that incinerates the swarm. Just as relief sets in, another wave of bugs closes in. Working together, Yora raises a powerful shield, while Alec conjures a thunderous magic circle, summoning a devastating lightning strike that wipes the creatures out. Before they can rest, a colossal worm bursts from the ground and seizes Yora in its jaws. Alec instantly realizes this monster is the cause of the chaos. With Yora trapped, he reminds her of her unmatched support magic, while she reassures him of his offensive might. Combining their strength, Alec summons a blazing dragon with the spell Blazing Tornado. The fiery beast engulfs the worm, reducing it to ash and freeing Yora from danger. Safe again, Yora rushes to Alec and praises him as the strongest magician she's ever known. Embarrassed, Alec accepts her words, and the two share a moment that recalls their old adventures. Not long after, Yora's party faces a formidable hydra. Their knight's weapon proves useless, and though their archer manages to distract it, the situation worsens when the hydra hurls devastating elemental attacks. Yora blocks a fireball with ice and a lightning strike with earth magic, but exhaustion overtakes her. At that desperate moment, Alec steps forward, weaving all 5 elements into a single overwhelming spell that obliterates the hydra. Their victory sets a new record at level 68, filling the party with excitement for even greater challenges ahead. Thus ends Episode 1, Alec's fall from the court, his reunion with Yora, and the rebirth of his true power as part of Lasting Period.